Hi and hello everybody. Welcome to this live drawing and Q&A session today. I will just draw a ladybug today here, this little guy, and answer questions. So I answer pastel questions you have. So write all your questions into the chat or below the video if you have questions during the drawing time. And so I am happy to answer questions about drawing with pastel pencils, about drawing with pastels in general, about art in general, about drawing animals. So if you have any specific questions, then feel free to write them in the comments. Hello to all who are watching. Write me in the chat if you see everything. Say hello. From where are you watching? Where are you from? I'm curious about that. Nice to see everybody. So I see people are joining in. We are live on my Facebook page and also on my YouTube channel. And I will draw a bit, and then I also would like to give you an insight into Animal Art Club, my online drawing school, because we welcome new members until Wednesday, and I want to show you also the club in this live. Hello, Kim is watching on YouTube. Hello, Anna. Hello, Joyce. Gail, nice to see you from Virginia, the Netherlands. Texas, great, UK. Hello, Lena, Agneta from Sweden, from Utah, from France, Chantal, hello. Hello, Louise from the Netherlands, and hello from, Australia. That's amazing because I know it's late in the night, early morning for you. So nice that you're also here. Hello, Jill. Hello, Kate, Eileen. So nice that everybody is watching here. So I will start drawing with pink pastel pencil, this ladybug. I did not send out a color list or something like that. If you would like to draw along, then just grab some pastel pencils you have. I will use for this ladybug here some red tones, a lighter red and a darker red, and black, and then also add some blues for some reflections, middle blue, dark blue, and light blue, and white for highlights, and also some greens for a little bit of the leaf below the ladybug. So if you have questions, then also pop them in the chat while I'm drawing. So I'm happy to stop drawing and answer all your questions. Hello, everybody. I see also here Kim is watching on Facebook. So let's start. I will now sketch the outlines in. I like to do that freehand from time to time to train the eyes and practice drawing a bit freehand. So let's start to draw this little ladybug. I use the black pastel pencil and sketch in the outlines with the black. I like to measure the distances with the eyes and draw here the outlines in. I have a question here. What methods are available or do you use for drawing the sketch if you don't do it freehand? So I did a long time use the helping lines. so that I use a grid, not directly a grid, but lines around the most important parts of the animal. But I also like the method just to put pastel pigment on the back side of the paper, and then so of the reference photo, the printed reference photo, and then draw along the outlines with a graphite pencil, and then I have the sketch already on the paper. I also like to use different colors in the sketch, so that I use black for the black areas, and then also here I use red for the body of the bug, that there are no black outlines. So, and always also, if you are drawing outlines, if you are drawing the sketch, really let your time there and don't rush, so that you have the proportions correct. Hello, Sabine from Germany. Nice to see you watching on Facebook. So if you would like to know anything, please pop your questions into the chat while I'm drawing this little ladybug. If you have questions about Animal Art Club, our drawing community, my online drawing school, also pop them in the chat, because we open the doors at the moment and welcome new members. If you have questions about drawing with pastels, also please pop them in the chat. Let me know, are you a drawing beginner? Or are you already drawing animals a bit? How have you discovered drawing animals? I would also like to know that in the chat. Which reds are you using trying to draw along? Gail, I'm using the Pit Pastel 225, the dark red, and the Scarlet Red 118. There are not a lot of reds out of the sets of the pits available, so I just go with these two reds and mix in then also a little bit black to darken the red down. So I'm also curious about that. If you're watching, are you a beginner, or are you interested in starting drawing animals, or just in refining your drawing skills, learn some new techniques, or just watch how other artists are doing that? Because I know everybody has a bit of a different technique or tips and tricks how to do that. Okay, here we have, what brand of pencils do you use? I use most of the time in my pastel portraits the Pit Pastel pencils. Pit Pastels, so the Pit Pastel pencils from Faber-Castell. I like them because they are harder, they have a harder lead, and you really can draw nice, fine details with them. So if you're working with the Capucellos from Stabilo, or the Derwent pastel pencils, or Caran d'Ache pastel pencils, they are a bit softer, and they are also wonderful pastel pencils. You can combine them for sure and use them for backgrounds, but for fine details and for hair, fur, and so on, I really can recommend the Pit Pastel pencils, because they are harder, and you can then draw finer lines with them. I then start here with the face of this little ladybug. And here I have drawn now the sketch, and now I start plotting in first the white a little bit here, where there are some white stains on the head here. Here is also a bit of a reflection in the front part of the face, and then we have here the eyes. I also plot in a little bit white here before I bring in then also blues and the black. Here is then also a little bit of a light reflection. I bring in a little bit white to have a little bit of the highlight in place. Let's have a look. Look, I've always wanted those is nature sketches writing. Yes, then invest in them. I highly recommend them. They are so nice pastel pencils. So if you can get them, you have it easier to draw them. If you are working on realistic lifelike animal portraits with a lot of details and fine lines and so on. Lena, I am not working with the reference photo directly. Today I use a drawing as reference. So I use a drawing I have done in Animal Art Club in a live drawing session. I use that today as a reference and just draw that one. I can place it here. Then you see it. So I take that as the reference photo and just draw this little ladybug again. So let's then use it. So I use next a little bit of blue and plot this middle blue, a very gentle layer in here on the head. When you're drawing so black surfaces, there are also most times blues included or other colors that are reflected. So you can then do an underpainting with a blue and darken that down then with black to create deeper, darker black areas. So I plot in a little bit of blue here and then also a little bit of black here above to darken down the upper part. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I see we have new people watching, so I will say that again and again because I want. So my goal is to answer your questions here today if you have questions. So use that live drawing sessions like a Q&A call to ask me questions. If you would like to know anything about drawing with pastels. So here, I also then, after plotting in the base layer, darken down dark shadow areas, plot in the black here everywhere where it's really black around the little eyes. There is a darker shadow, and also here the front part here is a bit darker and a black line here below. Then also below the ladybug we have here shadows. So I always also have a good look at the reference photo, draw what you see. And I also plot in the black here on the little legs. And also here, these upper dot, we can already plot in a little bit black. I also will bring in here some blues on the dots of the ladybug here. So, for example, you can also use a dark blue, the dark indigo 157, and plot that here in addition to the black. So, and then use a blending tool like the paper stamps and blend these base layers together. So if you would like to know anything, please write your questions in the chat. I blend then here the black and the blue together. Coming back to the last question about drawing the outlines, what methods are available? You can use different methods, like I said, the grid method, the helping lines. You could also use projectors if you like that you project your reference photo onto your drawing paper, and then also draw along the outlines and use that as a method, you can also place tracing paper between your printout reference photo and your paper. I have here a question about what paper I'm using. Yes, that's a good question because I did not mention it. I always work on the Pastel matte paper from Clairefontaine. It is a high quality pastel paper that allows many layers, and that's a really important thing, that you can draw many layers on that paper. I have here light blue now, so that you can put a little bit pigment on the paper like I do now, and then another layer on top and another layer on top. So this pastel matte paper allows a lot of layers. You can imagine that this paper has so little, let's say, so little mountains and little valleys. And with each layer you draw, you fill in here a little bit of pigment. And with the next layer, you fill in a bit more pastel pigment into that spaces between the little mountains and valleys. And then another layer and another layer. And then, depending how many layers the paper allows to draw, at some point here, these spaces are full of pastel pigment, and then you cannot draw here lines on top because there is no structure in the paper anymore, and then your paper is saturated. So the pastel matte paper really allows lots of layers, and that's the amazing thing, especially when it comes to drawing fur, because you can draw many lines and strokes, and you can let them cross and overlap, and you can draw very easily with lights over darks. And that's the fascinating thing when you're working on the pastel matte paper. It costs a little bit more, but that is so worth to invest it. I go here over with the white again. So it's really so worth to invest it because it is so much more fun to draw on it. And you can so easy draw with the white also over the darks. Then we will do that here then later. So I could also show that here you can easily draw with white over the dark, and that all is not possible if the paper does not allow so many layers. I remove that again here and darken down with the black. Again, some darker shadow areas here on the head. And here plot in again a little bit black and darken that part a bit down. So if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Pop them in the chat. Think about what questions are popping up. What would you like to know? Or just tell me, what animals do you prefer to draw? Then I ask you questions. What is your favorite animal to draw? What do you really like to draw? Or what I'm also curious about, what are your biggest goals with your animal portraits? What would you like to achieve? Let's say end of the year, or in a year from now. What are your goals? It's always good to set goals when you are drawing. So what are your goals with your animal portraits? Would love to hear that in the chat or in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube or also on Facebook, in the comments below. I'm so used to say in the chat because normally I do Zoom live calls, but write them below in the comments. The bald eagle is, I read here, so you are preferring to draw birds. I love cats, dogs, and wildlife. I personally, my favorite animals are horses, but I also like to draw all kinds of dogs, cats, all kinds of wildlife. Birds are also amazing to draw, a little bit more tricky in my experience too, to draw the feathers, but also a challenge, and it's always nice to challenge yourself. So I bring in here some little highlights on the little dots to here, the black dots. There are some light reflections on them, and then blend a little bit over it with the paper stamp that it's not so brilliant. Okay, and then when I draw here the red part, the red body here, I plot in here where the highlight section is, white first, so that there is the lighter color right away in place. It's always better also when if the pastel mat allows a lot of layers and to draw with light over dark, to bring in the light color right away in place when there is a very light highlight. Nature Sketches says, I also want to draw like you. I love your drawings. That's amazing. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, and you can do that. I personally think that everybody can learn to draw in that way. I also try to explain everything in details always when I'm doing the lessons, for example, in Animal Art Club for my members. I explain every step very, very detailed, that everybody can follow, that everybody can press also the pause button and draw along at their own pace. And so I would not say you don't need, so you just can go and draw that after any practice. That's not true. That would be a lie. But if you would like to learn how to draw that, and if you are patient, so you have to be patient, and you need to practice, because it lasts a while that you draw, for example, fur or realistic animals with pencils. You just need some time, and you have to be patient and draw line by lines, or here layer by layer. Such a little animal like the ladybug does not last so long, because you have more layers, smooth layers. But when you draw fur, of course you have to build up the fur layer by layer and stroke by stroke. But if you like to draw with pencils, and if you are willing to draw and have a bit time, and use drawing for calming down and sitting down and relax and draw stroke by stroke, I have the opinion that everybody can learn that if you want that. So you have to, of course, you have to want, or to be ready to learn how to draw. This is Scarlet Red, Cynthia, 118 Scarlet Red, just such a lighter red tone. Let's plot that in as a base layer now. So I plot that in here as a base layer, this lighter red. I love to draw horses the most, Heidi says. I hope to sell some drawings by the end of the year. Yay, that's an amazing goal. Selling your art and earn money. That's always nice also to get your art supplies back. Hear a lot that pastel pencils and pastel mat paper are expensive. They are, but they also last a while and are so worth it. And when you then can sell your portraits or do commissions and get a little bit of the money back, that's always a nice thing. Or maybe somebody would also like to start a side art business or a full art business. That's also amazing. I have a question about the paper stamp. Did you use sandpaper or a knife to clean it? It looks like yes, there are edges on it. Yes, exactly. This is the paper stamp I use, and I have used just such a craft knife to clean it. So to cut away the paper, because you have always most of the time black pastel pigment on it, and you can easily clean them. I now use it for blending that red base layer. Yes, Gail, you also have to write the question for cleaning the paper stamp. I do it with the knife. I would like to draw with pastel pencils, but I also like to draw with graphite pencils. Yes, of course, you can also do both. I started with graphite pencils and then did charcoal and then started with color, and I fall in love with pastel pencils then afterwards. And I then always have drawn my animal portraits with the pastels. Okay, so then I blend here over it, and then let's use also a darker red 225 and plot that in here where we have some shadow parts on the ladybug. Here I plot in a bit of the dark red. It's 225 of the pits, because I work here with the pit. Here I plot in also a bit of shadow below that black dot. Make it darker and also darken down here the right edge. And make it a little bit, I make it also a little bit rounder here. You always can correct something. If you have any other questions, pop them into the chat. So here, plotting in a bit of the dark red and also a little bit below the black dots. And then take again the paper stamp and blend here over. I see we have new watching faces. I don't see your faces, but I see that more people are watching. So if you're new here, hello. Nice that you are here watching the live. If you have questions, pop them below into the comments. I'm happy to answer everything you would like to know. Blend also here a bit over the red, make it a bit softer, the transitions. And then let's also use a little bit of the white, the Pit Pastel Pencil white I have here. You can also use any white you have. And then I blend here a bit around this white highlight we have already plotted in little circles, and apply a little bit of the white. So in that circling method, plot a little bit around and mix the white a little bit with the red, the lighter red, the scarlet red, and just go over. Use also the white for blending the red a little bit, and then I also go in with the red again, and maybe also swipe over a little bit with the red, that it's not too white. Also again in little circles to bring in a bit of a structure. Also make the edges a little bit more red to create nice smooth transitions here. So swipe over in little circles. I bought Pit, the tin of 36. There was a large increase in cost for the set of 60. I just make it here larger. 225 isn't in the 36 at other colors that are handy to have that I buy single of. You can get all colors of the paper, yes, also in single versions. So depending where you are buying your pastel pencils. So I like to buy them also in single versions because some pencils are finished faster, and then you don't can buy a whole set. So normally all the pastel pencils also are available as single pencil. They are a little bit more expensive when you compare them to the set, but it is so worth it because you cannot buy all the time a full set or a 24 set or a 36 set. Okay, then I take the white again and swipe so over in little circles again to bring in a next layer of little white, so that we bring in here a bit of a structure in the middle. Light reflection here where the sun hits the bag, where the sun is reflected. We can also bring in here a little bit of white, a highlight, brighten that upper part up here a bit with white. Also brighten the lower edge here up a little bit with the white. Add here a white highlight and here, so move the pencil forwards and backwards a bit and add a highlight. We also have here a bit of the white stain, and so you can create a very glossy surface with so little light reflections. I also take again the scarlet red then and plot in a little scarlet red again around the highlight. Hello from Colorado, USA is somebody writing. You make this look so easy. Yes, sometimes it looks a little bit easier than it is, but if you follow the lessons, for example, in my membership Animal Art Club, I really like to explain every step I do. I then also always say what colors I'm using, showing you the pencils exactly. You also get material lists and line art drawings and reference photo and all that stuff to prepare. So here I go over a little bit with the scarlet red again. So if you have any questions, I encourage you also to write them in the chat again for all the new people that are here. Okay, then I go with the black again over the little legs, make them darker. And we have also here so little feelers. Don't forget them, these little antennae, these feelers. And I darken down a bit the black parts. I always like to go in with the black again and darken down black parts or draw along edges so that they are sharper. Is it possible to draw with pastel on wood or only on pastel paper? On wood, it would not work really well. So the color, the pastel pigment would not stick so well on wood. On wood, I have drawn a lot on wood with acrylics. So that's the better medium. Then you have to paint with the brushes. But to draw on wood is not working well because you don't have that structure. You really need pastel paper for that, or for the start you could go with a sandpaper you get in a hardware store with a higher grid number, so 1000 or 1500. That is also working because it also has a nice structure. It's a little bit sandy, but that it's not acid free. So for the long time, it's really worth to invest in a high quality pastel paper, that it is age resistant and not become yellow after time, or when light is shining on, and so on. Here I plot in on the shadow below a little bit black, and then mix it with green to create such a dark green shadow. I use the 165, the juniper green. How much does it cost to join the Animal Art Club? I will give you then, when we have finished the drawing, an insight into the club. The price is 45 US dollars for 1 month, or if you decide to join yearly, 450 US dollar yearly. There you can save 2 months. Sabine, when did you get started in pastels, and do you use other mediums, is another question. So I am drawing now about 17 years with pastel pencils. I've done a lot of commission artwork, and then started 3 years ago to teach, and I have created a drawing course and my membership Animal Art Club. I create now a lot of drawing lessons and tutorials. I started about 20 years ago drawing animals with graphite pencils. So I also have drawn a lot with graphite pencil, and then charcoal. I also like charcoal. It's the same type of medium like the pastel pencils. But when I then discovered the pastel pencils, I really fall in love with them. And because you can mix the colors really nice together. I have now the 168. The earth green yellowish, and plot that in here below a bit for the leaf. Just draw a part of the leaf. Yes, and then I've fallen in love with pastels, and I have seen that you can layer them so beautifully and mix colors, and it's not so slowly like colored pencils. I also have dried colored pencils, but the waxy oily color pencils you have to blend, so you cannot blend the layers so easily together. You have to draw with more and more layers. You also have to build up your animal portraits in layers with the pastels, but you can also blend underpainting layers better together, that the paper structure is not showing through. You can create nice blurry backgrounds with the pastels because they are so dry and soft. So I really fell in love with that medium. Can I look this video back later? I had a doc appointment. Yes, you find the video, the recording, the live stream on YouTube and on my Facebook page also later. I will not delete it. Let's have a look. Are there any other questions? Let's have a look. Do combine with charcoal pencil when drawing with pastel pencils, or do you ever yes, do you ever combine with charcoal when drawing with pastel pencils? Yes. So what I like to do is to use, for example, a very deep dark black charcoal pencil. It is the Faber-Castell Pit charcoal pencil. Do you see that? It is a very deep, dark black charcoal pencil. And also I like to use General charcoal pencil for creating fine lines. This is a white, for example, charcoal white from Generals. And I also have Derwent pastel pencils, so tinted pastel pencils in different brown tones. And so you definitely can combine them, yes. So you can use pastels together with charcoals. They are the same. They are both dry, and you can definitely use both. Okay. Lynn is writing, I love the pastels. I just joined the art club and I'm trying to navigate my way around. Yes, nice. Welcome. Will I get notified when we do a live chat with all members? Yes, for sure. There are live drawing sessions in Animal Art Club, and you always get every information per email. So make sure you get my emails, that they don't land in the spam folder. And you also get all information in our Facebook community we have, where we post all events and notifications. So for sure, and you find also the dates in the calendar. We have a calendar on the course platform where you see all upcoming events, when the next drawing session is. By the way, we have the next on Wednesday this week. We will draw a long hair there. I now swipe over with little circles with the dark green here to bring in a little bit of a structure into the leaf. I just draw a little bit of that leaf here and bring in a little bit of a structure here. And then let's also go over a little bit with a light green. What pastel medium is better, oil or chalk? So I only draw with chalk, so with the dry pastels. I don't work with oil pastels. I cannot say what medium is better. It's a personal preference. The thing is, they are both different techniques. Oil pastels are waxy. They are not dry. They are more, I would say, like colored pencils. You cannot not mix and blend them so easily together. So I only work with the dry chalk pastel pencils and also the chalk sticks or pen pastels. So you can use them. I then add here with the white a little bit of a highlight here below on the leaf and bring in here a little bit white. And what I mean with blending colors together, when you go over with the pencil here over the light green and in so little circles or move the pencil forward and backward, you can mix the white and the green so easily together. Or take a blending stamp, for example, that should be clean. By the way, when you blend over light colors, then I can show you now how I remove here the paper, because we had the question before, and remove a little bit of the front part here, and then you have a clean paper stamp again. And then I blend over here, so in little circles, and you can easily blend them together. Let's create here a bit of a faded edge into the paper, because I don't draw the whole leaf here. And add again, go in again then with a sharp black and add some black outlines or darken down black edges. So, for example, here that I go along the outlines here, or around the head once more, or refine the feelers a bit, or here along the head, or also darken down that dot and draw along the edges. Bring in here a bit more black around and make sharper edges around the black dots here. Refine it a bit, invest a little bit of time to refine here all your details, or darken down the shadow below the little ladybug. I also bring in a little bit more black into that shadow on the leaf here. Blend in a little bit black. Let's also draw some red little dots on the little legs. Okay. Yes, and so you can bring a little ladybug to life on paper. I'm using blend colored pencils. Okay, yes, colored pencils is a bit of another technique because they are oily and waxy, but also amazing to draw animals for sure. You just they have to layer a little bit more and blend over it with the pencil itself a bit and layer different colors. Okay, so I have now finished drawing this little ladybug, and I would also give you an insight into Animal Art Club, my drawing school, because we have opened the doors at the moment. I will share another screen with you. Just a second. So this is Animal Art Club, the homepage. And I would like to go through and share this a little bit with you, how the club looks like inside. So here, when you scroll downwards, some new members come to that site, and then they find here on top, there is a welcome section. And I show you the content library because that's where all the lessons are hosted. And I get the question a lot. If you have access to all lessons or only the new lesson of the month, because you get every month a full drawing lesson, a full animal to draw, and you get every month a focus lesson to draw and a background tutorial always at the beginning of the month. And you have access to the entire content library as long you stay a paying member. We have a lot of lessons in there. Animal Art Club is nearly 3 years old now. For September, I have drawn this white dog, the Swiss Shepherd. We practice drawing white fur. And we have last month, we have done a red panda, and there is a dolphin lesson, a sweet alpaca lesson, cats, dogs, horses, a cow, snow leopard, so a chocolate brown Labrador, eagle owl, squirrel, a sweet little piggy, a tabby cat, golden retriever, a sweet kangaroo with baby, with a joey. Horses are in there, sea turtle, the lynx, a beautiful lynx, an elephant baby, a giraffe, hare, Australian shepherd, a little duckling, a fox, and a black horse, a lion, a squirrel with pumpkin, our cat Shadow, it's our own cat I have drawn, dog, wolf, the beautiful kingfisher, white horse. Then we have also tiger, eagle, a stallion, Spanish stallion, Maine Coon, and a black German shepherd. So these are all the full portraits that are in the content library. Every month you get also focus lessons. At the moment, I have uploaded the horse face to learn how to draw shadows and lights and black fur. And these are deep dive lessons where you can practice to draw details like a dog mouth or special sheep wool, for example, parrot feathers and so on. Every month there is one focus lessons also. And for those who are further advanced or would like to add backgrounds to their own portraits, we do also background lessons, or just for fun to draw something different, like colorful autumn leaves, or I have here drawn a bouquet, or background, or green leaves, flowers, landscapes, stones, beaches, also leather and metal, so additional components, or clouds and sky, grass, and so on, water. And we also do the happy drawing hours. These are live drawing sessions. So you see, we meet in Zoom. And last month we have drawn the beak of a parrot, also different subjects like bee, grasshopper, little birds, also fur or paws, and so on, or butterflies, or all little sweet subjects like snail and so on. So you see, we draw also together live once a month. And you get mini motivation lessons. These are smaller lessons, so 20 to 30 minutes long, where you can get quick results. And they are fun to do between drawing the larger lessons. Yes, and you always have everything recorded. You also have the possibility to join our Facebook community, where you can share your results and you get feedback and help and tips and tricks and motivation. You can also join monthly Q&A calls, where I ask your questions. You see here, these are Zoom calls where you can ask questions and submit your drawings for a review or color choice and so on. Or you can also, for sure, post and submit your own portraits, not only drawing lessons. I also help you with refining your own portraits. If you are doing commissions, I'm happy to help you moving forward. If you feel stuck or something is not working like you would your goal is, or you would like to have it, then you can also come to a Q&A call and get help. Yes, and so we have 2 Q&A calls a month. And yes, there is also a beginner's course included for everybody who is really a complete beginner. I also want to show you that. So if you are starting from scratch, you can download a beginner shopping list and watch videos about everything you need for the start: material, sharpening, how to blend the pastels, what pressure is important, what lines and strokes can you draw, and so on, how to mix colors, and how to practice sphere structures and little eyes for the start. And everything always is also recorded. So if you have any questions about the Animal Art Club, I'm also happy to answer them. I have here Sabine. I had no idea there was such deep variety. I seriously need to rethink waiting. Yes. We have a lot of content in Animal Art Club, so there are many lessons you can choose. You get also new lessons every month, so month by month, and access to everything as long as you stay in the club. Your ladybug is brilliant, looks realistic, great 3D effect. Yes, thank you. I have to go. Thank you too for joining. Okay, so if you're interested, then write a club or join below in the comments, and we will send you the link to join. I can also here, let's have a look in stream. I can also paste them here in the comments. I try if that is working. Yes, I've put the link into the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. Then you can have a look around if you're interested to join. As mentioned before, the doors are open until Wednesday, so Wednesday midnight. Then we close for some month. We only open it 2 to 3 times a year. So if you would like to join, I'm happy to welcome you. Or if you have questions, I'm also happy to answer them. Thank you for the educational lesson. You are welcome. Yes, unfortunately, I can't join at the moment, but I want to say thank you very much, Sabine, for the free lessons. For sure, I also offer you the free lessons. Thank you. So this video will stay on YouTube and on my Facebook page. So you can watch it also again and take your own pencils and draw along. So here, when you join the club, you see all the old lessons also. Yes, exactly. All that I have shown you now in the club. So you have access to everything that is in there since I started it 3 years ago. So as long as you stay a paying member, yes. Thank you too. Okay, yes. Okay, so if there are any questions, you can also post them later below these videos here. I'm happy to answer them then in the comments. Thank you for watching today and drawing the little ladybug with me together. I will show it again to you that you see it then finally. It was fun to draw along and answer your questions. So, thank you. I've learned a lot in short time. The videos are so clear. Is-Kim writing. I appreciate that very much. Thank you also for these kind words. I always try to explain everything and help you to move forward and to make it easy for you to follow and to create amazing animal portraits too. Okay, thank you so much for following today. And then I hope I see you soon. Either you decide to join us in Animal Art Club or on my Facebook page or on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me or subscribe. I would be happy if you stay in my circle. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to go draw now. Yes, nature sketches say that's great. So you are very motivated. I love that. That's amazing. Okay, thank you so much. Please, yes, please keep your eyes open on the club. We close doors on Wednesday, so there are still 2 days to join. Thank you, and I hope I see you soon. Bye-bye.